Assalamualaikum guys. Again starting with a cube. Just grabbing it on a z-axis and then scaling it on a z-axis. Something like that may looks good, and then go to edit mode and then just grab it to somewhere else to add a mirror modifier. So just align the center of it and then just grab it on a y-axis and then scale it on a y-axis, then again grab it on a y-axis and then just scale it on an x-axis just a bit. Go to add selection mode, select these both edges and then hit Ctrl B to add a bevel to it so it may looks good. Then scale it on an x-axis as well. Select these upper edges and then these downward edges as well, so something like that, and then hit Ctrl B to add a loop cut, but be aware to just add only one loop cut of bevel, to add some only one segment to it so it may looks good. Something like that may looks good. And right now, as you can see, I'm gonna add a loop cut, a lot of loop cuts. It's make good to add some twist into the scene. So more details you add to the scene, the more complex will looks your object. And okay, so adding more loop cuts to it, to the both sides, and we had mirrored it on the other side, and it will be just copied. And then select these faces right here, something like that. Deselect this one. Okay, I'm gonna select this other side as well and then just hit E and then scale it smaller, or just grab it on a z-axis. Something like that looks good. Just assign it. Okay, then select this one and then insert this and then scale it on a z-axis just a bit. Also scale it on an x-axis as well. Scale it on a z-axis. Just press E to extrude it on a y-axis. Grab it on a y-axis just a bit. Okay, just look at a loop cut right here and then just grab it somewhere right here, and it looks good. And then again just hit C to circle selection and then go to face selection and then hit C and then select those faces, also this side. Okay, and then just hit E and then extrude and then scale it smaller to just make it good. Something like that, but looks good. And then hit K to add a knife tool as well, and then just draw a line somewhere right here, and it may looks good. Okay, something like that. Just try to add more details into your scene and it may looks more complex. And I'm gonna add, why I'm gonna adding these loop cuts, well, I'm gonna be selecting this upper side of this object and then just extruding it down. Okay, that's the main reason that I'm adding another loop cuts by a knife tool. And a knife tool is a very useful tool that you can use when you can't add a loop cut. Then you can use knife tool to add your own loop cuts, and you can draw them wherever you want. And then select all the upper faces that we just draw a line and then just hit E and then just hit S and then scale it smaller just a bit to just add some more details. And some faces are out of it, so let's delete all of them because they're not the part of our tutorial. So I'm gonna delete all of these faces that comes out of it, and then select this one and then again use insert tool for that one and then insert it up and then just grab it somewhere right here into the y-axis, something like that. And then also scale it on a y-axis because it's too big, because it's mirrored on the other side, so it may looks good. And then just hit wet, yeah, I'm gonna hit E to extrude it on an x-axis, and there you can see there are some faces that remain. I'm gonna delete all of them, hit delete, and if you see some edges also remain, I'm gonna delete those edges as well. Okay, selecting these faces something like that, and just insert them up as we did for the other faces, and then deselect this face and then select the both faces on the sides and then scale it on an x-axis. Then again yeah, something like that, and again this one, and then scale it on an x-axis, something like that. May looks good. Okay, and select all of them that we have just insert, and then just hit E to extrude them, and then just hit S to scale them smaller, or just grab them on a z-axis. So now it's time to align them better and try to have a good look. Something like that. May looks good. Try to have good look, because it may add some more detail into your box. Something like that. May looks good. And then add a cube and scale it smaller and grab it somewhere right here, and then just scale it and move it a bit. Scale it on an on y-axis, sorry, to add some. Okay, and then just scale it on a y-axis, something like that. Also grab it somewhere into the x-axis, scale it on a y-axis just a bit. Go to edit mode, edge selection, select this edge, and then grab it on a y-axis just a bit, and also select the other side and then grab it on a y-axis as well. As you can see, it looks amazing. Now hit tab to go to object mode, grab it somewhere right here, and then just hit S to scale it on a z-axis, and then go select the box, go to modifier tab, add a modifier, add a boolean modifier, and select the target object as the cube that we have just added, and also change you can see we had added some kind of a hole right here, and also duplicate again this object for the other sides as well, and use a separate boolean modifier for it to add some variety into your cube. And then just if you apply all of them, then delete all those cubes that we have added, because we don't need them in our scene, something like that. And I'm gonna add a honeycomb. Well, honeycomb is an add-on in Blender, which is pre-installed, and you can turn it on in preferences, add-ons, and then search for extra object, and you can get it right there. And what did I did that I just added 10 columns and 10 rows for the honeycomb, and you can control these in the this left downward side, and then just hit shift D to duplicate it on the z-axis, grab it somewhere right here, and then just rotate it on a 90 degree, rotate on a y-axis just a bit, and then grab it somewhere right here, something like that. May looks good for this. And I'm gonna hit shift D to duplicate it for the other hole as well, and also shift D, duplicate it, scale it on a Z, and then just add it to the top of the hole that we had added before. And I'm gonna add a material for this box. I'm gonna add a noise texture as well. I'm gonna add a color ramp. I'm gonna connect this with this, and with the color ramp with the roughness. And I'm gonna go to cycles and doors, samples to 2, denoise, and also this one too. And I'm gonna go to render view, and as you can see, when I hit Control Shift or left click, I'm gonna grab this handle somewhere right here, and then this one also, and also increase the scale to something like 100, something like that. May looks good. And also these and as you can see, it's rendering. I'm gonna add some details and bring this value to 10, and also this to 1. And as you can see, it has much detail. And right here you can see it's white, so I'm gonna duplicate these two nodes, these and these. I'm gonna hit shift D to duplicate them and connect them with the bump node and with the height of the bump node, something like that. I'm gonna connect these with the normal. And as you can see, if I change if I bring the color to something like very black, and I'm changing the type of this light to something like sun, and then change the power to 10, it's rendering, and we will see the final result of how it looks like. If I zoom in, and then see, as you can see, we got some good looking roughness right here, and it looks amazing. I'm gonna make it a little green and with some black color as well, and it may looks good. As you can see, it looks amazing. And yeah, here we have some material for our box, and it's fully up to you which kind of a material do you want to make. Blender is just an amazing software. Okay, as you can see, it looks amazing. I'm gonna change some of the values because it's so big and the roughness looks amazing. I'm gonna add a plan to it. I'm gonna grab it on a z-axis just a bit, something like that. And yeah, I'm gonna add some kind of new material to our box. I'm gonna go to edit mode of this box and then select some of those faces, this one and also that one, also on the other side, and add an emission material with a green color somewhere right here, and just hit shift A and add a color ramp somewhere right here, and then add a layer weight node, search for it, connect the facing with the factor, facing, yeah, and then bring this white value to something like that, and then change the color to something like green and connect it with the color. And if we go to render view, as you can see, we got some cool looking results. And as you can see, we have some black thing in the middle of this color, and it looks good when you add some glitter to your object. And as you can see, it looks amazing right now. And if I increase the strength of it to something like 10, yeah, I'm gonna change it to 20, and it looks amazing right now. Okay, and I'm gonna add a new material for the ground. I'm gonna add a noise texture, and I'm gonna add a color ramp for the ground material. I'm gonna connect the factor with the factor and the color with the roughness of it, and I'm gonna bring these two handles to very close, and I'm gonna change the color to very black. And yeah, if I hit Control Shift left click, as you can see, we can see what's going on. I'm gonna change the scale to something like 100. I'm gonna increase the detail of it and also the roughness of it just a bit, and I'm gonna see how it looks like, and it looks amazing right now. I'm gonna go to solid view, and now if I hit Shift A, add a cube, scale it big, very big, and add a material which is a volume material. I'm gonna decrease the opacity of the world as well. You can see if I change the type of the light to something like a spotlight, and it may looks amazing, something like that. And as you can see, we had got some cool looking shot right now. But if I change the color of the background very black, and it will look something like that. And let's change the angle of the camera as well, and as you can see, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna change the type of the light to a spotlight, and it will looks good. I'm gonna change the power to something like 100. I'm gonna go solid view. I'm gonna bring this to cover the whole area. And if I get to camera view, I'm gonna get into render view, and how it looks, I'm gonna duplicate this light as well. I'm gonna change the color to something like green, and I'm gonna hit render view, and I'm gonna go to render view. As you can see, it looks amazing, and it's fully up to you if you want to render in this way. You can also render it right here. I'm gonna change the density of it to something like 0.01, and it may looks amazing. And I'm gonna change the color just a bit below of the light. I'm gonna change the angle of the camera to just get an amazing look, something like that. May looks good. And right here, I'm gonna get a solid view. I'm gonna select these honeycomb. I'm gonna change the material. I'm gonna add a new material to it, and it's just a metallic material. Okay, I'm gonna change it into an area light as well, these to an area light, and change the angles. And you can see it looks amazing right now. We had got some cool looking angles from every side, and you can just hit render. But I'm gonna change some settings. I'm gonna change the density to something like 0.01. I'm gonna change yeah, I'm gonna go to compositing, add a glare node. I'm gonna hit use node, and then also add a glare node. I'm gonna change this to fog low, so let's add some kind of a fog to our scene. And as you can see, I'm gonna scale it smaller. I'm gonna bring it right here. I think it may looks good right here. And I'm gonna go to camera view. I'm gonna hit as you can see, I'm gonna go to camera view. I'm gonna go to camera. I'm gonna change the angle of the camera because I didn't like the camera angle, so I'm gonna change it. And I'm gonna, yeah, let's play with the setting of these lights. I'm gonna zoom it right in, and as you can see, they're looking amazing. I'm gonna change it into cardinal. I'm gonna change it to B-spline. I'm gonna bring this one, and I also change the color of this black one to something like white, and it will looks better when you change it. And now it's looking amazing. And right now I'm just gonna hit render to render out the final animation, the final photo, and as you can see, and it looks amazing. I'm gonna save this image. Just hit subscribe button,